Welcome back, everyone. Before we dive into today's video, I need you to pause whatever you're doing because what I'm about to share could completely change your immigration plans for 2025. If you or anyone you know is waiting for a visa, green card, or citizenship, the next few minutes could save you months of delays or help you take advantage of brand new opportunities that just opened up. I'm talking about major policy shifts, updated processing times, and changes that literally took effect as we rang in the new year. So hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on, because this information is time sensitive and you do not want to miss a single detail. Alright, let's get straight into it. The start of 2025 has brought some of the most significant changes to U.S. immigration we've seen in years, and whether you're applying for a work visa, waiting for your green card, or preparing for citizenship, these updates will impact your journey. I've broken everything down into the most important categories so you can quickly find what applies to your situation. Starting with visa updates, and this is huge for anyone on an H-1B visa or planning to apply. USCIS has announced extended validity periods for certain employment authorization documents, which means less paperwork, fewer fees, and more stability for workers. If you're currently on an H-1B and your employer is processing your green card application, you can now receive automatic work authorization extensions of up to 3 years in some cases, up from the previous limits. This is a game changer because it reduces the anxiety of those gaps in employment authorization that so many people have experienced. For students on F-1 visas, there are updates to the optional practical training program that you need to know about. The STEMO-PT extension process has been streamlined, and processing times are expected to improve significantly throughout 2025. Additionally, there's been clarification on remote work policies for OPT students, which became a gray area during the pandemic. The new guidance provides clearer rules about what types of remote work qualify and how to properly report it to your designated school official. Now, let's talk about something that affects thousands of families, the green card process. The beginning of 2025 brought updated visa bulletin numbers, and for many countries, we're seeing forward movement that hasn't happened in years. For family-based immigration, particularly in the F2A category for spouses and unmarried children under 21 of permanent residence, the dates have advanced several months. If you've been waiting in this category, you need to check the latest bulletin immediately because you might be closer to your interview than you think. For employment-based green cards, there's mixed news depending on your category and country of birth. The EB2 and EB3 categories for Indian nationals have seen some movement, though demand continues to far exceed supply. However, USCIS has announced they're implementing new measures to reduce processing backlogs, including hiring additional officers and expanding premium processing options to more petition types. By mid-2025, premium processing is expected to be available for I-485 adjustment of status applications in pilot programs, which could cut waiting times from years to just months for those who can afford the additional fee. One of the most exciting changes is the expansion of the concurrent filing process. More applicants can now file their I-140 immigrant petition and I-485 adjustment of status simultaneously, even when visa numbers aren't immediately available. This allows applicants to receive work authorization and travel documents much faster while waiting for their priority date to become current. If you're in the early stages of the green card process, talk to your immigration attorney about whether concurrent filing is now an option for you. For those of you on the path to citizenship, there are several updates that will make your life easier. USCIS has reduced naturalization processing times in many field offices across the country. The national average is now hovering around 10 to 12 months, down from the 18 to 24 months we saw in recent years. However, processing times vary dramatically by location, so make sure you check the specific processing time for your local field office. There's also been an update to the naturalization test and interview process. While the test content remains largely the same, USCIS has introduced additional flexibility for applicants with disabilities or those who qualify for exemptions based on age and length of residence. The Medical Certification Form N-648 has been revised to make it easier for healthcare providers to properly document qualifying conditions, which should reduce rejection rates for exemption requests. Another significant change is the expansion of the military naturalization program. Service members and certain veterans can now access expedited naturalization with reduced fees or fee waivers in more circumstances. If you or a family member has served in the U.S. military, this could be your fastest path to citizenship, and the new guidelines make it more accessible than ever. For premium processing enthusiasts, and I know many of you have been waiting for this, USCIS is gradually expanding premium processing to more form types throughout 2025. While it's not available for everything yet, the plan is to eventually offer premium processing for most major petition types. This means that if you have urgent travel or employment needs, you'll have more options to expedite your case by paying the additional fee. Let's talk about something that often gets overlooked but is critically important: biometrics appointments. USCIS has announced that they're transitioning to a new biometric system that will eventually allow for biometrics reuse across multiple applications. This means if you've given biometrics for one application, they may be able to reuse them for subsequent applications, saving you time and reducing the number of trips you need to make to application support centers. The full rollout will happen gradually throughout 2025, but it's a step toward a more efficient system. For families dealing with the public charge rule, there have been clarifications that provide more certainty. The current administration has maintained the 2022 guidance, which takes a more balanced approach to evaluating whether an applicant is likely to become a public charge. If you were worried about how receiving certain benefits might affect your immigration case, the current guidance provides clearer information about what is and isn't considered in the totality of circumstances test. Travel is another area seeing important updates. If you're a green card holder planning extended travel outside the United States, you need to be aware of updated guidance on maintaining permanent residence. USCIS has clarified what evidence they consider when evaluating whether someone has abandoned their permanent residence. The key factors remain the same: the length of your absence, your employment and family ties in the U.S., and whether you filed U.S. taxes, but the documentation requirements have been made more explicit. Before taking any trip longer than 6 months, consult with an immigration attorney to protect your status. For those applying for U.S. visas from abroad, consular processing times have improved in many locations, though significant backlogs remain in some high-demand countries. The State Department has hired additional consular officers and extended interview waiver programs for certain visa renewals. If you're renewing a visa in the same category and meet specific criteria, you might be able to skip the in-person interview entirely, which can save months of waiting. One area that requires urgent attention is maintaining valid status. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has announced enhanced verification systems, and employers are facing stricter requirements to verify work authorization. If you're approaching the expiration date on your employment authorization document or visa, start your renewal process earlier than you might have in the past. Don't wait until the last minute, because processing delays, while improving, can still occur. There's also been an update to the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. While the program remains in legal limbo with ongoing court challenges, USCIS continues to accept renewal applications from current DACA recipients. If you're a DACA recipient, it's crucial to file your renewal application at least 120 to 150 days before your current work permit expires. Don't let your authorization lapse, because getting back into the program if you fall out of status becomes exponentially more difficult. For entrepreneurs and investors, there's promising news in the EB-5 Immigrant Investor Program. The Reform and Integrity Act of 2022 continues to be implemented, and the reserved visa categories for rural areas and high unemployment areas are providing faster pathways to green cards. If you're considering the EB-5 route, the current environment offers more certainty and shorter wait times than we've seen in the past decade, especially if you invest in priority areas. Something that affects everyone in the immigration system is the continued digitization of processes. USCIS is expanding its online filing capabilities, and more forms can now be filed electronically. Online filing generally results in faster processing, easier tracking, and quicker receipt of notices. If you're filing a new application in 2025, check whether online filing is available for your form type, because it could shave weeks or months off your processing time. So there you have it, a comprehensive overview of the major immigration changes as we move into 2025. Whether you're just starting your immigration journey or you're in the final stages of becoming a U.S. citizen, these updates will affect your process. The key takeaway is that while some things are improving, the immigration system remains complex and time-sensitive. Don't go it alone if you can avoid it. Consult with a qualified immigration attorney who can evaluate your specific situation and help you take advantage of these new opportunities while avoiding potential pitfalls. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button and share it with anyone you know who's navigating the U.S. immigration system. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future updates, because immigration policy can change quickly, and I'll be here to break it down for you. Drop a comment below telling me what immigration topic you want me to cover next. Are you waiting for a green card? Preparing for your citizenship interview? Dealing with visa issues? Let me know your situation and your questions. I read every comment, and your feedback helps me create content that actually helps you. Remember, knowledge is power, especially in immigration, and staying informed about these changes could be the difference between success and frustration. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll dive even deeper into strategies for navigating your specific immigration pathway. Until then, stay informed, stay proactive, and keep moving forward on your American dream.